Hello and welcome to Property Money Trees Maximising Property Values, the once a month show where I break down the steps of how to recognise, enhance, and then extract the values in property in order to create wealth. Would you like to find out how you can benefit from the steps of maximising property values? This is even if you don't own a property yet or have a deposit. If that's a yes, then you're in the right place to find out. My name is Patricia Faber, and although many know me for my work as a solicitor, on this show you will be getting the benefit of my 30 plus years worth of experience of maximising property values, experience which has given me a net worth in millions. So who might benefit from listening to this show? Literally anyone with an interest in creating property wealth. Welcome back. So today this podcast is going to be short and sweet, I hope. And it's all to encourage people. It's all a bit of like doom and gloom at the moment because we're all looking at the Renters Reform Bill. We're looking at the cost of finance. And lots of people are saying it's not, buy-to-let is dead. They're saying it's not worth looking at buy-to-let. But I went out today and I've made an offer on a place which I've been told will be accepted. I just need to fill in the paperwork and send it back. And I am so excited about this particular flat. So it's a 1-bedroom flat. It's in a really nice part of London. It's the kind of flat that normally I would not be able to afford, but the market conditions have put it within my grasp, and I am not going to let this opportunity pass me by. So it was on the market and I've offered 325. I've been told that will be acceptable, so I'm going to be paying 325 for it. Now I've come back, I've crunched my numbers on property data. Property data is telling me that as an average conditioned flat, it is worth 495 plus or minus £25,000. Even the carpets in the flat are okay. If I got a carpet washer in to wash them, they would be absolutely fine. This flat is simply amazing. It's a 1-bedroom flat. So you walk in, it's a top floor flat. You walk in through the door, you go up a set of like half stairs to a half landing, and then you go up another set of half stairs. And when you go up the second set of half stairs, you go onto this very long landing where I'm actually thinking I would put a desk along the whole of that wall because the landing is so big, and it has 2 windows. It has 2 windows onto the landing. So I'd put a desk along the whole length of that with like bookshelves above, and that would be like a study. That would be the study area. Oh, I can literally just see it in my mind. Anyway, then you come up like I think 3 or 4 stairs, and then you're in the main area. So then you have the kitchen immediately in front of you, and then you have the lounge next to the kitchen, and then you have the bathroom, and then you have the bedroom. Altogether, that flat is 47 square meters, but it is simply amazing. The building itself is so solid. Oh, I tell you, it literally looked like the most handsome building on that road. And this road was actually a very posh road. So there was just everything I saw, I absolutely loved. Now, people, like I said, some people are saying, people have been saying for a long while, buy-to-let is dead. But if you have a plan, and you know what your plan is, and your plan works, irrespective of the market conditions, why would you not carry out your plan? Why would you not? So So this same flat, to a high spec, property data tells me it will be worth £610,000 plus or minus 30,000. Now, in terms of rental, for the average price, I'm being told £2,008 a month, and for the high spec rental, £2,210 a month. What is not to like about this? 325 purchase. Now, the works, I reckon, will probably cost me, well, I'm budgeting £25,000 for the works. Now, what am I going to do? All the windows are double glazed, so they do not need to be touched. The walls are solid. They will just need a skim. So I'm going to have a complete rewire. That's probably going to cost about £3,000. The pipes for the central heating system are probably going to be relatively old, and central heating pipes, they do have like sludge build up, and that can cause the radiators to not work properly. So I think I'll probably have a complete repiping. So repiping, it's a 1-bedroom flat, not that big. So repiping, and the boiler looked relatively new. It was a Worcester Bosch. So just to repipe the radiators and replace the radiators, again, I'm allowing another £3,000. I'd need to skim the whole flat, because once it's been rewired, the electrician would have dug into the walls and the ceilings and all whatnot. Again, I'm allowing another £3,000. So that takes me up to £9,000. And those amounts actually include materials. Then new kitchen, including the appliances, £5,000, so that takes me up to £14,000. A new bathroom, including everything, another, let's say, £4,000, so that takes me up to £18,000. That therefore leaves me with a £7,000 contingency fee should anything go wrong, should the unexpected reveal itself. But it is just simply amazing. And in terms of staging, I probably won't need to spend more than £2,000 in staging, and that would just be blinds. What will I do with the flooring? I think I might, it's such a lovely flat, I think I might actually just have carpet there, like really posh carpet. The kind of carpet that when you vacuum it, you can actually see where your vacuum cleaner's gone. So you can actually leave a pattern on the carpet. It's that kind of flat on that kind of road, really posh road. All the houses there, they are Victorian houses, but really lovely, solid Victorian houses. The communals are so clean. Everything is so clean, and honestly, the house looks like it's the most handsome house on the whole road. It is just such a steal at £325,000. And so what are my plans for the house? So if I keep it, I will either flip it or I will keep it in my portfolio. Now, my preference would be to actually keep it, because I have a pipeline, I have a lettings pipeline now, which is absolutely superb. And I'd completely forgotten about this lettings pipeline. And I remembered them either last week, I think it was last week, or the week before. No, it was last week. And I contacted them, and they are taking me on. We've agreed everything. Just need to sign the paperwork, which another department is going to send to me, and we've agreed a move-in date for next week. So that's all really, really good. And I'm just thinking right now, I want all of my single lets to go to this particular company that I'm dealing with, because they are simply amazing. So that would be my preference, actually. But I could also flip this flat, and if I flipped the flat, there'd be so much money in a flip, because if I sold it, so buying for 325, spending, let's say 25, that takes me to 350. Costs of the purchase, another, let's say 25 odd £1,000, and all of that. So where are we? 375. And I'm being told that as an average thing, it will sell for 495 plus or minus £25,000. But I'm not going to leave it as average. I'm going to do it up, and it won't cost me that much to turn it into a high spec flat. And then I'm looking at 610 plus or minus 30. Now, even if I don't get 610, if I only get 550, if I only get 500, am I not laughing all the way to the bank? I think I am. So this kind of deal for me is a complete no-brainer. So renters reform bill, yeah, fine. Cost of finance, again, fine. Because with these kind of deals, can anyone see how it can go wrong? I can't. I'm hoping to actually keep this for myself, but I do have a mentee who is actually struggling because she had a deal which fell through, and I may well offer it to her. And if I offer it to her for a fee which would be discounted from what I would normally charge an ordinary deal sourcing client, then I won't be keeping it. But I'm hoping that she's not going to want it, and then I can keep it for myself, because it will be an amazing addition to my portfolio. It's, like I said, it's an amazing part of London. London will always be London. And the thing is, people will always need to live in property. Now, the risk with what we do is that we have a government that says you cannot charge more than X amount for your flat, wherever it is, and, no matter the standard. That would be, a complete nightmare. But will that happen? I don't know. I haven't got a crystal ball. I think they're going to curb by how much we can increase our rents. But having said, if we set our rents at a good price, starting out, maybe that won't be too much of a problem. Because if they say you can't increase your rents by more than 10% in 2 years, and you are already, like I do, charging above market rate because of what you offer, then increasing your rent by 10%, once every 2 years is not going to cause you a problem. So we just need to know what we're doing. We need to have our wits about us, because the market is definitely changing, and not for the better if you are a landlord, which is why, in order to stay ahead of the game, we need to know what we're doing. But I just wanted to throw this particular deal out there today to let people know that, if you're in this game, and there's no reason why you should stay, and I'm not telling people to start in the game, but we live on an island, and land is not something that you can grow. We have what we have, and our population is increasing every single year. It stands to reason that, housing as a commodity will always carry a premium. Now, the government may well artificially torpedo our market, fair enough. These are things that we need to think about, and we need to ask ourselves, if that happens, what are we going to do? How are we going to not only survive but thrive? Answer these questions yourself, and you will be fine. You will be absolutely fine. I'm just simply excited about this, and like I said, I hope it stays with me, but I do always feel a responsibility, towards my mentees. And because this particular mentee has, like I said, struggled a bit, because her vendor, she had a great deal. It was quite good, which we found. In fact, I found it for her. And then the vendor was meant to do certain things which were going to cost the vendor some money, and the vendor knew that and said, yes, I'll do it. and then turned around and said, no, I'm not going to do it. And we just said, well, if you're not going to do it, we'll sod that for a laugh. Things are changing, and she would have stayed in the deal and it was still going to be a good deal anyway. And that is why, when we do things, we always leave a margin. We always leave a margin, because that way, even if things were to go south, you'd still come out with some profit. And as long as you're making profit, you are winning. When we make profit, we are winning. Some people might do a new build of 10 flats and not make more than £100,000. And this is why I love single flats, because when you find the right one, you can make on that one flat more than people can make, and with all the hassle that they go through from their new builds. You talk about GDVs. GDVs are GDVs, and they're nothing until you actually realise, your GDV, until you sell or you refinance. It's just on paper, same as this. But with this, it's just one. The risk is minimised. And again, the amount of money, it's not going to break the bank. So have your plan. Don't be scared, but look out for the good deals. Look out for the steals, because they're out there, and do your own thing. Be encouraged. Be bold. If it's not for you, it's not for you. If you need to leave the market, you need to leave the market. You have to do what is best for you. But if you have a plan to be one of the people who is actually going to survive and thrive as a landlord, you need to be looking for these kind of rich pickings. So anyway, if you've enjoyed this podcast, please do rate and review it, particularly on Apple Podcasts, and reach out to me if you've got any questions. But I hope to see you next month. And I hope you've enjoyed the figures that I've shared. In fact, let me recap. Purchase price 325, budget for the works 25. If I leave it as an average condition flat, property data says it's worth 495 plus or minus £25,000 on a rental of £2,008 a month. And if it's a high spec one, then it will be 610 plus or minus 30,000 on a rental valuation of £2,210 a month. So there we are. A complete no-brainer. Till next month.